Hey guys, welcome back. So, Lewis spoke about where we were up to in the last video regarding all the work we'd done on the Golf RS, which meant stripping this car, stripping the donor car, transporting the engines from the one ramp to the other, and then getting finally transplanted into the car. Now, we have done the hubs, we've done the fuel tank, we've done the fuel pump, we've done the main battery feed, the fuel lines, we've done the intercooler, engines in, four-wheel drive systems in, brakes are on. Now it's down to the big task of wiring. Now up to the stage of the wheels being on, the brakes being on, the wishbones being on, all the RS gear. Lewis has got a modified prop shaft, you could put it as, fitted. We have the intercooler in and we've made a start on the wiring. So what we've got left now is a T10, T14, T4 and the T94 to rework. We have the exhaust to go back on. Luckily, because this was running an RS turbo beforehand on the CDL engine, the exhaust is going to mate up and fit nicely. What else do we have to do? Water pipes, to make sure the bulkhead water pipes are in and we've got good coolant flow through there and no leaks. And then we're going to finish off the wiring.
Right under your feet.
Right people, so last final touches before we try and fire the car up and see if we've done the wiring correctly. Let's see how we go. Lewis is currently just modifying the water pipes for the top return to the bottle, the heater matrix, and then we turn the key and see what happens. My test ECU is being fitted into the car. We completed all the wiring yesterday. Come on, look. I'll show you over it. It's a little bit messy at the moment because we haven't finished tying everything down. The T14, T10, T4 connected. We do have a couple of wires which are just for sport button and an additional sensor that we are going to wire up afterwards, but the main loom that we've added in here and the main T94 connector are done. Let's see what happens and if it fires. Alright, so we're ready for that first start. The engine's in, fluids have been checked, got some coolant in there. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, it's the moment of truth. Beautiful. Look at that, first one. Ooh.
What wires in the boot lid?
Right, so that's the relocated battery in its box. That's the RS3 box sat in the floor. What? I'm doing a video!
Anyway, that's the RS3 battery box mounted in the floor, and that's the fuse box from the RS3. Now we're not really using any of the fuses in here. We probably will rewire the thermal fuse in the back, but for now it's not required. It's going through its original grommet location where it should be. Just a bit of tidying up and that's all sorted. They are actually just offcuts and we are saving them in case we need to extend any wires. So that's why they're actually.
The car's running as we've seen in the last video. We had to trace a couple of wires back for the coolant fan and also tidy up the wiring. We also have the sport button wiring in if we're going to use it at a later date depending how we tune it. The bumper is back on. It is fouling the intercooler slightly, so we're going to have to trim that up slightly afterwards. This will be all part of the final touches that we do. But for now the car's going to go on the dyno. We're going to get it tuned, make sure it's driving all good. Once it's made the power that we want to be at, then we'll get back on the ramp, check everything over, go from there. We have the Golf RS now on the dyno, ready to get tuned. As we can see here, it's now fitted with a 2.5 T3 engine and the DQ500 gearbox. That's been done over a couple of days with ourselves. Got the brakes, got the hubs, got the suspension, got the drive shafts, got the Haldex system, prop shaft, rad pack, engine, box, ECU, and it's all wired up, ready to go. So let's start it up and let's see how it sounds.
Just like that.
Just like that. We're now calibrating the ECU in the Golf RS. So I'm now building the calibration file, which everything is done in-house. It's all done by myself in terms of all the custom software that we run under this business. The ECU is a Meg 9.1.2, which a lot of tuners have issues with no starts, checksum issues, engine management light coming on in the background but not bringing on EML, warnings on the dash, cutting out after 45 minutes. These are all common issues of this ECU if they don't know how to calibrate it properly, because it's got certain blocks within it that need to be adjusted in a certain way. So moving along, I'm going to build a tune now, which will fly through it, and then we'll get it loaded on the ECU as a base map. We'll dyno that, log it, and we'll move forward and see what we can maximize out on the standard intercooler and downpipe in the setup today. Here we go, so this is the first run on the dyno after building the car. Revision 1, we're going to get some logs on it, see how it's performing and see where we need to improve.
right people. So the car came out the dyno now. We got it on the ramp, and we're gonna do health and safety check on the car to make sure everything is bang on for the customer when he comes to collect it. And yeah, Louis will do a custom grill and finish the wiring off with D. Yeah, let's get into it.
We've been on the dyno, we've made some good power at this moment in time, just over 430 horsepower. We have taken the front bumper back off and we've re-secured all the brackets that needed to be put back on. All the wiring plugs for the front DRLs are back in, the front headlights are all back in securely, grills back in securely. Cass is now just finishing off the ECU holder, getting that back in. Lewis is currently underneath the car just tying up the lambda sensor wiring.
I'm having a great time.
Yeah. I've just sorted out the plugs, all the little holders for the plugs, and got the new loom that we have just sat nicely, and we've just got some bolts in for the RS3 airbox holder. We still got to find the cover for this, get that set back up. The bulkhead needs to go back on, airbox, and then tidy up, and then road testing.